everybody. I'm Mario Linhares, and tonight I have the pleasure of speaking to one of the greatest scientists in the world, Dr. Florian Kongoli. He's in Brazil, and I have the pleasure of speaking to him once again about the greatest show on sustainability through science and technology, SIPS, that is going to be taking place in Crete, Greece. So, first of all, I'd like to welcome Dr. Florian. And hello, Dr. Florian. It's a pleasure speaking
Yes.
to you again.
Hello. Good evening, Mario. Good evening. How are you?
Much better now. I've heard you are in Sao Paulo, right?
Yes, I am at Renaissance Hotel in São Paulo. I'm back
Interest.
in Renaissance Hotel. I was here last weekend, and then we went for a project that we have in Brazil. I'm back in Renaissance Hotel just today, a little bit after afternoon.
Very good. Dr. Florian, next edition of SIPS will be held in Greece, Crete.
Correct.
So, what is the
20.
expectation?
It will be held in Crete, Greece, in an old peninsula hotel, a magnificent one, and the name tells it all, Out of the Blue Hotel. From 20 to 24th of October 2024, it will break the records of the other shows, as always we do. We'll have 50 symposia, different fields of science, including 3 medical symposia, all field of science, and also a legal law symposium that this time is dedicated, it's a memorial, actually, symposium dedicated to a magnificent lawyer that passed away because of fighting with cancer at the age of 50. A very sad story, and we are honoring her. The symposium will be a memorial honoring her and having her name, Dibra International Symposium on Laws and Their Application for Sustainable Development.
Well, I'd like to take this opportunity. I've told you that previously in private, but my sincere condolences. Madam Dibra was your wife, right?
Yes.
And she's the Gen of Flogen, right? It's Flow.
Yeah.
Flow
Yeah.
stands for Florian,
Yeah.
and Gen stands for her. Yes, for
Exactly.
Migen. So my condolences, and if you allow me to ask, because we talked really quickly about this, what happened?
Well, it's a long story. I don't know how we can we show and all what happened with her, because it's a little bit.
If you don't feel comfortable, we can skip the subject.
Well, no, not exactly, because it's something that bothers me, and then your question is good. It's better to speed it out, to show what happened, because a lawyer of that caliber, to have her life cut short because of cancer at 50 years old, that is a pity and a big loss. But what is mostly very, very sad is that her story. Where to start? Probably start from the beginning. 2006, she was diagnosed with carcinoma in the left breast. Dr. Mark Bazik of Jewish General Hospital in Montreal. It has a big name, one of the best hospital in Montreal. Dr. Bazik, though, was working at the oncology department. He suggested to do a mastectomy on the breast because of carcinoma. It was done, but then later he found out that he something was wrong in his procedure. He asked again her to come back and redo the same thing to make the correction. And then again, a couple of weeks later,
Sorry,
he
you said
found out.
something was wrong in the procedure?
Well, that's what he said. We have to
Like
do something.
a malpractice or something like this, or
Well, I am not a doctor to say malpractice, but I'm going to say only the facts. What happened?
okay,
He said that we need to do for the third time to correct something we didn't do properly for the second time.
okay,
So she underwent uh, three operation with generic anesthesia, and then in a couple of months, this is at 2006, everything started bad, and then there was another
18 years ago then.
yes,
Okay.
2000 in 2006,
Mhm.
18 years ago. And then it was the fourth operation for the breast reconstruction at the same hospital. Failed because the doctor, I don't remember the doctor, it's not the same doctor, but the doctor punched a hole in the silicone implant. That she was obliged to go back and to remove it. And then they asked her to redo it again, but then she lost faith in that reconstruction doctor, and then went to a private clinic, Karl Schwarz clinic, I remember very well. But private clinic, you have to pay. And then they did it once with problems. They did it for the second time, still having problems. They asked for the third time, still having problems. They got paid around $50,000, and then still it was not done as it should. So she gave up on them also. We're speaking 2007, 2008. So it's a, but the most worrying thing is that from 2006 to 2018, Dr. Bazik, the oncology doctor that did the operation on her, did not do any follow-up test from 2006 to 2018. There are guidelines in Europe, in Germany. I spoke with my friend
So
doctor
sorry,
there.
sorry to interrupt you. 12 years without a follow-up for in a
12 years
cancer patient?
without the CT scan, without the PET scans. I have ordered all the files from the hospital from 2006 2018. There is no data, no blood test, no
Is
CT
this a
scan.
normal procedure in Canada? Because I mean, my father had cancer, you know this, and
Yes.
he had like almost monthly checkups.
Correct. This is the guidelines. We spoke with Migen's cousins that are doctors in Germany. They
Mhm.
confirmed that there are guidelines, especially for breast cancer, which is universally known that they send metastasis in the liver and in the brain. And because of that, monthly checkup is a guideline, is an obligatory guideline. The same thing in the United States, the same thing exists in Canada. No test for 12 years. Migen was
It is the
very
guideline in Canada,
yeah, I think so. I
but
can
they didn't
confirm, but
follow
I'm
the
pretty
guideline
sure
then.
there is. It was not done.
Okay.
I don't think so. And the I remember Megan was telling me that when she used to see him and ask if she need to do any tests. No, no, you look fine. You don't need tests. And then in 2018, she went to the emergency hospital with a broken vertebra in the back. So the whole the operation went well. They fixed it. The issue is that they found out 12 years later that she had metastasis in her bones and in the liver. So out of the blue, after 12 years, no checkup, and then you have a patient that it is with metastasis everywhere. And the same doctor told her that her life expectancy is just 6 months. And then they brought also palliatory services. Palliatory service is not to fix a person, but to make her die without any pain. Her mother threw them away, told them she doesn't need palliatory services. And she did a very good thing. Actually, she saved her life because they went away, and then she went through normal chemotherapy, and she continued. 6 months was passed, more than 6 years. 6 months, 6 years. So this is the revolting way that Migen was treated. I am not taking any position. I am not accusing anyone. I am saying only the facts. Everybody can draw their own conclusion from this saga of facts. So from 6 months life expectancy, she continued to the chemotherapy and the radiotherapy, and then she continued normally. And then in 2020, what was strange is that although the diagnosis was that she had the metastasis in the bones, without even starting chemotherapy, directly after those bone metastases in the bone were active. They have been all the time inactive. There was no activity. This was proven by CT scans, was proven in the Jewish hospital and in Japan when we went later. So those basically were not active. The only thing was the liver that had some metastasis, but numerous chemotherapy, even many experimental ones were administered to her. Strangely enough, in the beginning of 2022, and she was feeling, always with the side effect of chemotherapies. But in 2022, the blood test results, were showing completely normal. So, and then we wanted a second opinion. We went to Japan in August 2022. We did CT scans, we did PET scan, we did blood tests. All of them were normal. CT scans were showing some spots, some very small spots in the liver, but the doctor said they do not look like cancer because cancers are round. They were rectangular and with irregular shape. So they said they do not look like cancer. But they suggested a follow up. So we went back from October. We went back. From August. We went back in October again. In October, everything was also completely negative. And this agrees with the blood test with the Jewish hospital in Montreal, by the way. But it is a common knowledge. If you have metastasis, you are never able to bring the tumor markers at the normal range. Only because of medication you can make them a little bit higher, but never in the normal range. And she stopped the medication from February, March to December without no medication. Everything was normal. And Japanese doctor were saying that it's impossible that if you have a cancer, they go up. Even if you don't take medication for 1 or 2 months, it goes up immediately. So this is the situation. So this is good news, actually. But we came back in October. We get about 2 or 3 formal reports from different clinics in Japan, famous clinics in Japan. And then we went to see the normal doctor, Dr. Lawrence Panacci, who followed her after the operation and did to her many chemotherapy. And she told him first that I went to Japan. I have the reports. They do not think that they look like cancer. And I was present. What surprises me greatly is that Dr. Panashi starting yelling, starting offending the Japanese doctors. Some dude doctors in Japan, they are crazy. I don't want even to read their reports. He threw them in the garbage without reading in front of me. And he said, I do not need...
He threw the report from the Japanese doctor away?
In the garbage. In my face and in Migen's
sorry
face.
to interrupt again, but just to understand, because I'm not very familiar with the Canadian health system. But I know that in the United States, I know that in Brazil, all over South America, patients are entitled to a second opinion. Isn't it so? Like, it's like that in Canada?
So much so, in the same hospital,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere in the walls, you have written the patient's right. And you start, the first or the second is that you have the right of the second opinion.
And he threw the report away.
He threw the report away in the garbage in my face and in Migen's face. And he said, if you want the second opinion, I can send you to another doctor in Montreal that I know, and to get a second opinion for them. I don't need the second opinions from Japan. And they throw them in the garbage.
That's denying science. That's denying I don't even know. I'm really. I didn't know these details.
Oh,
Wow, you must have
that's a
felt you and
very
her.
sad story. So
Wow.
again, I'm stating only the facts. I'm not taking positions.
Mhm.
Okay, and all this what I'm saying, we have by emails, we have facts, we have correspondence, we have everything. Whatever
This
I'm
was in
saying,
the
I'm
Jewish
backing up with
hospital
the facts.
in
A Jewish
Montreal.
hospital. Look, just to make a Jewish hospital, it is founded by Jews and have the name Jewish. It's not a
Mhm.
Jewish hospital.
Okay.
So it's nothing to do with the name. It is because the founder is a Jewish. He did a very good service to Montreal. He founded the hospital, but it's not a Jewish hospital. It's just a name, because and actually it is one of the best hospitals in Montreal. But our experience with the oncology department, as you see, it is very, very sad to say the least. So I'm stating the facts. I'm not taking any positions, and I'm saying the sad story what happened. So she lost confidence on Dr. Panacci, and then she asked to the department to change the doctor because we found so strange his behavior, yelling and panicking, and then you could have given the impression that we need to show that our hospital is okay and the Japanese doctor are wrong, and they could have done anything. So that's why we asked the doctor to be changed. And then a new doctor, a lady, Jennifer Friedman, was her doctor. In January 2023, from a CT scan, we found out that the some of those spots starting to increase. Then she started to give her hormonotherapy. Hormonotherapy normally, according to the next doctor, Dr. Ferrario, that I'm going to come a little bit later, uh, said that normally you see the effect 2 to 3 months. If there is no effect 2 to 3 months, you change. Actually, Dr. Friedman continues for 9 months with the same enzymes of chemotherapy, which is known also to damage the liver. Migen was asking her by email to change. They are not acting. The tumor marks are going up. We need to change. But she was insisting to give the treatment a chance to act. And then it came about 9 months. Migen wrote a mail. We need to change it. And then in that email, she mentioned an opinion from a Japanese doctor. We went there for the appointment that was fixed before, and then we found out that the appointment had been cancelled without our knowledge. And then we asked the secretary of the doctor, how come the appointment, we have appointment today, and the
They
appointment is
canceled.
not.
Sorry. I'm just trying to understand what
Yeah,
happened. They
sure.
canceled the appointment without you requesting.
Without requesting and without telling us that the appointment has been cancelled.
Just because you wanted to, just because
I
you
don't
talked
know.
to a
I'm telling you. I don't know. You have the right to draw the conclusion. I'm telling what happened. And then we went to the secretary and asked, how come the appointment is cancelled?
I'm
Who
shocked. Sorry.
canceled the appointment?
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Who canceled the appointment? The secretary said it is Dr. Friedman canceled the appointment. What is the reason? Because she said you are going to go in Japan. Migen said, I never mentioned going to Japan. I gave an opinion of Japanese doctor to change the dose. And then she arranged to have the appointment. These are the sad stories, sad to say the least. So then she arranged the appointment the same day. And then she said, no, the tumor marks are going up. But I wanted to change the treatment, but you didn't want to. This was completely untrue because Migen had written by email asking her to change the treatment. And then she said, I didn't change it because you didn't want to. So we were astonished because she put the
Man,
blame on her.
I'm sorry, Dr. Florian, but I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I imagine what you went through because just listening to the story, I'm like speechless because, man,
You have,
it's incredible. I've never heard a story like this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not from the medical area. I'm a journalist, but I've never seen anything like this. And I'm telling you because I had experience with the treatment, my father's treatment. Yes,
yeah, yeah.
and I mean, he was never like he never had an appointment canceled. He never had you know, because you followed a lot. You helped me a lot with his treatment also, especially
Yeah,
with even with the doctors from Japan too. And
yeah,
I can
yeah.
tell you that it was very well accepted in Brazil. And I'm talking about my experience
Correct.
as the son of a patient. Yes.
Yeah,
So he had like state of the art treatment from Japan, and it was accepted from a Brazilian doctor. And I think this
yeah,
would be the procedure.
yeah.
I cannot understand. And
Well,
again, I'm not saying anything. I'm not getting conclusions here. I'm just like speechless. I don't know what to
well,
say.
yeah. And the story doesn't finish here. But here we are not at the
Oh, there's
phase
more.
of. Oh, yeah, we are not even in the middle. So we are not at the treatment. We're not proposing treatment from Japan. We never did any treatment from Japan. We only did the diagnostics, and only mentioning a Japanese opinion in an email, she interpreted it like we are going to Japan, and then she canceled the appointment without telling to the patient. And then we went there, and then she told us I didn't change the treatment because you didn't want to, while she was asking by email several times, and we have the emails. Then we lost confidence. She lost confidence in her also, and they asked again the doctor to be changed, because when a doctor tells you that you didn't want to, while she was asking by email, and she confirmed this on the email sent to her after that I asked and you didn't want to. You cannot say that didn't want to change. You didn't want to change, and then we ask for a doctor to be changed. So this will be, and then comes in the picture Dr. Ferrario, the last doctor that was treating her. Um, he suggested to administer Taxol. Taxol is a chemotherapy that is a normal one. It's nothing strange with the Taxol. But the professor suggested to do a genome sequencing. This is a new technique. It's not covered by insurance, but it's a new technique that determines what type of sequence of cancer you have in order to find the best chemotherapy that is the most effective one. Uh, then Dr. Ferraro accepted. She got a blood test sent to the clinic. We paid about $6,000 to get the testing done, but the testing results would have been come after 3 weeks. Then, in the meantime, Dr. Ferrario and then Dr. Basics insisted that while waiting the result, she should get Taxol as a chemotherapy. With our knowledge after, we found out that if you do a chemotherapy, you change the genome sequencing. So if you apply chemotherapy and you are waiting the results of the genome sequencing, those genome sequences are for a blood that's not treated by chemotherapy, and basically they become worthless. So the right course of action would have been to wait for 3 weeks, get the result, and find the best chemotherapy. No, they didn't wait to. And then they apply chemotherapy. So that makes
Sorry to interrupt again. Sorry to interrupt again. This doctor that suggested or prescribed the chemotherapy, you said Dr. Ferrario. That's
Ferrario, Dr.
yeah.
Ferrario,
He knew she
with
had the genome sequence.
he did it. He ordered it
Oh,
with the
he
suggestion
ordered
of,
it,
yes, with the suggestion
and you can,
of
and it's stated that it's common knowledge that you cannot have a genome sequence and have chemotherapy before having the
no.
result.
This
The
is
change.
my knowledge. This is my knowledge after. He should have
Only, but
known this.
he as a doctor should know this.
Yes, this is my knowledge after. The doctors told me, and it is, even if you do a Google search, chemotherapy changes the genome sequencing. So if you do genome sequencing and do not wait for the result, that genome sequencing means nothing after a new chemotherapy. And
I'm
this
sorry
is,
to use this term, Dr. Florian, because I know how you must be feeling because you loved your wife, you loved your family. I've known you for years, and but this sounds like a horror story. I'm sorry to use this term. Yes. but
That's and it's not finished yet. So and
it's
then
not finished yet.
no, 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 no,
Wow.
no, no. It's a very sad and long story. Very sad and long story for a brilliant lawyer. It's very sad. And then not only that, but after doing the Taxol, the clinic came back to Dr. Ferraro and said, we need some more blood tests. We need some more blood because we didn't have enough. Probably they didn't find any with insurance, any tumor there, any cancer, because they want to make sure they needed another blood test and another blood sample. And this was 3 weeks after the first blood test, 3 weeks when we were supposed to get the result of genome sequences. 3 weeks after they asked for new blood sample. Apparently they couldn't find anything in the first. So, and then the question was, the new blood after the chemotherapy is not the same blood as before the chemotherapy. So the genome sequencing could have been a mess. And then we were obliged to cancel the genome testing because it was a mess.
I'm speechless. Serious. It's
And then now we go to Taxol. They suggested Taxol. By the way, my plan was already the next week to go to Japan to Dr. Kimura. He is a specialist in immunotherapy. Although the General Hospital, Dr. Basic and Ferrari was saying that this type of cancer she had is not curable with immunotherapy. Dr. Kimura has a very special immunotherapy. It's very special in the world.
Sorry to interrupt again, but Dr. Kimura was that Japanese doctor we interviewed together.
Correct.
Like
In his clinic in Tokyo. In his clinic in Tokyo.
I remember.
And it is my friend, and he planned everything, hotel we were staying, going about a month in Japan and so on. And he said, this is very easy for me. There are other things that are not easy for me. Don't worry about this type of cancer. My technique fixes this. Anyway, the plan was ready, but Dr. Ferraro convinced me again, do not go to Japan. We will have the best service here. We'll do the best for you. And they convinced her in front of me. It was Davis there, it was her and me, and they were convinced. And this is the bad thing here. And then they came this genome sequencing mess, and then they gave Taxol. Taxol is a normal chemotherapy. People take Taxol and go to the gym. It's not something really dangerous. But what happened to her, it is something that had never happened to anyone. Again, it was not the first chemotherapy she got with Dr. Panacci before. She had had about 3 or 4 chemotherapy. So her body was used with chemotherapy. It was not the first one. But with this Taxol, she got burned. All her organs inside of the body got burned. Got burned to such a degree that when she went to the emergency of Jewish hospital, the emergency doctor told her, I am not able even to see your tonsils. They've gone. If the chemotherapy has caused you this to tonsil, imagine what have caused you in the internal organ. They immediately should decrease the dose of Taxol. And then this gave us a hint. Probably there has been an error in the pharmacy, and they have given the triple the dose. Because when we contacted the head of the pharmacy of the hospital, he told us this reaction has never happened for decades to nobody before.
And so, sorry I'm just trying to build like a conclusion here.
Okay.
I don't want to make a conclusion. Yes, I'm not a doctor. I don't work in the medical area, but as a layman, and you've just said that what's the name of the chemotherapy again?
Taxol.
Taxol. You said it's not a strong one. Sorry?
No, it's not in the Taxol.
It's not a strong one, but it burned her organs inside, and it burned the tonsil. The doctor could not see the tonsil, and probably it had burned everything inside that. So she must have been in extremely pain.
Extremely pain for 4 days. She wrote emails to Dr. Ferraro. I'm in pain. I'm being burned for 4 days, and I was not there because I didn't find this dangerous. She has done chemotherapy before. And for 4 days, Dr. Ferraro never responded. After 4 days, he responded, asked the pharmacy to give something against the burning, it makes it better. Then we went to see him, and he was astonished himself when he saw the tonsils, when he saw everything, and the blood tests were showing that the kidneys were struggling. The kidneys, and she never had any kidney problem before. Then they gave her electrolytes intravenous, and hopefully, so good luck, kidney became normal. But generally, she never came to the same good situation before Taxil that after Taxil as she was before Taxol. Before
So
Taxol,
probably, I'm not saying for sure, but probably it had caused a permanent injury.
that's her opinion because she never was in the same position that was before. Before she was told that tumor markers were going up, but physically she was perfect normal person. There is no. She was not tired. She was doing normal work. After that, everything changes. Everything changed in such a way, in a
When
irreversible
was
way.
this, Dr. Florian?
Sorry,
When was this?
this was in the middle of October. The
Last year.
Taxol was administered on the 9th of October, the horrible day.
Because I remember that you said in 2022 when we interviewed these doctors, these Japanese doctors, we
Yeah.
interviewed in a sequence
Two.
for
We're
tips
going to
of
introduce two
science.
clinics.
Two clinics, exactly.
Yes.
Two clinics. And also Dr. I forgot his name. The one that had that supplement that my
Okay.
father used to
Dr.
take.
Inafusa. Yeah. Dr. Inafusa.
Inafusa. Yes, exactly. So two clinics and Dr. Inafusa.
Yeah.
I remember that.
No, we had we went in the three clinics.
Okay.
Three clinics plus a specialist doctor in Tokyo. So we consulted four. All the tests were going to each of them to give their opinion.
Because I remember you went to Japan with her in 2022, probably. It was
Correct.
before
In
Thailand.
August, and in
In
October.
August, I remember that we had two or three sips of science
Exactly.
in August. And I remember that she was pretty good at that time.
Yes, she traveled normally. All analyses were normal. And strangely enough, it is known that if you have metastasis, you never are able to bring them in a normal range. Close to normal, but never. She was normal for 1 year without any medication. And this is in the theory of metastasis cancer. This is abnormality. This never happens.
Wow.
That's why we had a report from the doctor that was thrown in the garbage from Dr. Panashi in Joyce Hospital. But to return again to the taxon, burned all the places. She couldn't come to the same position anymore. She was always tired. She has a message sent to us telling, I'm afraid I will not get I'll not get better anymore after this taxol. I have a feeling that my body it's poisoned. She was saying poisoned. Why? Because we asked the head of the pharmacy in the hospital. In the beginning, she was very rude. I cannot give you the name of the technician who prepared the Taxol. I cannot give you and then he changed the position. He said, "I'm going to follow
They
this issue."
refused to give her the name of the person who prepared the
Correct.
dosage.
Correct. Yes.
But
And then
isn't she entitled? In Brazil, she would be entitled. In
yes.
Canada, she isn't
Well,
entitled to that.
I do not know this exactly, but the problem he refused, and in the beginning he was rude. And then after he changed, he said, "Oh, you are right. I'm going to follow this issue. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to do everything possible." And apparently, I don't know what he did, but he never came back to us. We asked also for the logs of the procedure of the mixing of the chemotherapy. They were not given to us. But he confirmed that for 40 years they have been using Taxol. This reaction never happened. Anyway, so seeing this bad reaction, Dr. Ferrario said, "Okay, we're gonna give something else, Verzenio. Verzenio is a new drug. It's a new drug, And then because Taxol gave you so bad reactions, we're going to give you Verzenio. Verzenio is a new drug recently approved, but he gave her 1 pill per day. Since she got so horrified by Taxol, she went and saw the side effects of Verzenio. And the side effect of Verzenio, among others, was sudden death as a side effect. And she got worried. And she wrote again to Dr. Ferrario by email. You gave me, I come from the worst experience ever with Taxol. Now you're giving me this once per day, but there are side effects according to the research, to the FDA in the United States, that sudden death. Can you please let me know? His reply was, you know what? I forgot to tell you. I did an error. Instead of taking 1 per day, you should take 2 per days, without even addressing her worry.
She was worried about taking one because of the side effects. And he doubled the dose.
He doubled the dose because I did an error when I gave you 1. You should have take 2, and he didn't mention at all her worry about the side effect. Ignored.
It's I don't know what to say. Sorry. I don't know what to say.
Again, I'm stating the facts. I'm not giving my opinions. I'm going to state only the facts. So when a patient is worried about her life and you do not address her worry, I do not know what name to put on it.
Me neither.
So, and then she hesitated to take delay to take this Verzenio because she was worried. Then in the beginning of February,
she was worried, but did she follow the doctor's prescription and took 2?
She didn't. No, she didn't take in. She decided to delay taking them because she was worried. She was worried the Panacea, the throwaways, the second opinion. She was worried that the second doctor lied to her, said that you didn't want to change the medication. And then this guy, the third doctor, she was worried about side effects, and he doesn't mention anything and double the dose. So, I mean, even a normal person will get really in a bad position, not to say suspicious, not to say what's going on. And then, so she delayed taking the Verzenio. But then apparently she got a very, very bad flu because of my son in the flu that came from China from some students. And then she thought it's a flu. And then she became worse. And then we went to the hospital on the 6th of February. And Dr. Ferrari said that the liver function parameters are not good. You should stay in the hospital. They are very advanced. We got into the hospital, and this is another saga. What happened? The first, they gave her only electrolytes, water, and ACL, some cortisone, and some steroids, just to give her body enough power because she was not eating. And then for 2 days she became better. She started to eat like normal. Actually, she has written an email to the doctor. After these 3 things, she started to eat like normal. She was starting eating the sandwiches, while at home she couldn't eat anything. And then we waited that night. We stayed up to 3 a.m. in the morning, speaking all sorts of things, funny stories. I was tired, she was not. But I stayed for her because I stayed with her at the hospital for 2 weeks. I slept at the hospital. She didn't want anybody to stay with her, even a paid person. She wanted only me to stay there. So I slept in the coach with her for 2 weeks. But in order to follow chronologically, the first day in the hospital, okay, a nurse comes to the room to measure the blood pressure and the vitals. It's a normal procedure. She used the machine that was in the wall, and then she came up with a blood pressure of 240 with 120. 240.
Wow! So it was really high. The 240.
240 and 120.
Wow! She was close to having a stroke.
And it does not exist. The blood can, the heart can explode. And I told
Yeah.
her, "Are you?" I told her, "Are
Well,
you
was this
sure?"
because of the medication?
No, no, wait. There was no medication. She was doing perfect. I asked her, just listen to me. I asked her, "Are you sure for that? It's very, very high. It's not possible." The nurse said, "Probably she moved a little bit more in the bed." I told her, "What? 240 because she moved in the bed?" Yes, and she was writing without any problem. And then I told her, "Please stop, don't write this value, take another machine and come back and measure without machine." She went, took another machine, and the blood pressure was 120 to 80, pretty normal.
Oh, wait. No, wait, man. Sorry, but so
I
one.
do not blame you. I do not blame you. Can continue.
No, sorry. I said it looked like it sounded like a horror story. It gets worse and
It
worse.
gets and still gets worse and still gets worse.
It
We're not
still
finished yet.
gets worse.
Oh yes, even worse.
Wow, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Serious.
I'm telling the facts. And then the same nurse came back 120, 80. It's perfect blood pressure. And then the second thing she told her, after midnight, you do not need to eat until the morning. We asked her why, because the doctor has prescribed endoscopy. Endoscopy is a tube you put through the mouth to check the status of the stomach. We got surprised because the doctor Ferrari didn't mention this endoscopy. She had no problem with from the stomach. The problem was in the liver. And then we asked her who prescribed the endoscopy. She told us, "I do not know. It is in the file. Tomorrow you're going to do endoscopy." We we got crazy. We didn't know. And then she wrote an
Wait.
email.
She didn't know who had prescribed the endoscopy.
The nurse, no. She didn't tell us. I don't know. It is in the file.
But an endoscopy must be prescribed by a
By a
doctor, right?
doctor, correct?
So a doctor has to sign it.
She didn't probably didn't tell us. She tell us, "I don't know who is doctor." Anyway, it gets worse. She wrote to Dr. Ferrario, "Why I need endoscopy? We never spoke about endoscopy, and what are the reasons we are having an endoscopy? I have nothing on the stomach." His reply by email was, "Let's pass this time endoscopy. Let's
Wow.
pass this time endoscopy." We have the email. The next morning, the doctors in charge of the pavilion, Dr. Falah, she came very terrified in our room and told us, "I'm sorry, I have not ordered endoscopy. I do not know who ordered it. I am in touch with Dr. Ferrario. We do not know who ordered endoscopy."
It's incredible. Uh, uh, Dr.
And
Florian,
the nurse of that
why do you
day,
mention I was checking here just for curiosity? And correct me if I'm wrong. As I said, I'm not very familiar with the Canadian medical system.
this
Yes,
is not
but
nothing to do with the Canadian medical system, nothing to do with the procedures.
no, but I
This is
mean
not
the
procedures.
medical system in Canada is maintained by the government, by each province, right?
Yeah,
I was checking here.
hospitals are government owned.
Yeah,
They're by law. There is no private hospital.
yeah, but I was just checking here that an endoscopy in Montreal, by what I understand, the government pays the hospital for the exams. This is, as I said, I don't know deeply, but I've just read it. I just Googled it. An endoscopy costs from $500 to $600 in Canada. The government pays $500 to $600 for an endoscopy. I'm not saying that there was a financial interest. Yes, it's just a fact. An endoscopy costs from $500 to $600, and it's very strange that somebody that doesn't need an endoscopy has one prescribed by a doctor that the nurse doesn't know who was.
Not the nurse. Not only the nurse, the doctor of the next day. The doctor
The
said,
doctor
no,
didn't know either.
she came to us, Dr. Fala. She came to us, not in a good mood, and said, sorry, I have not ordered endoscopy, and I do not know who has been the doctor who ordered endoscopy.
This is
This is the
it
doctor,
doesn't
not the
sound
nurse.
right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not accusing anybody. I don't have elements. I mean, I've just heard this story now. It doesn't sound right, but it sounds it sounds weird. It sounds at least, yes, the least to say weird. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Serious. But
And the
sorry to
nurse,
interrupt you again. Is that this story is so
not
unbelievable?
finished, not finished yet.
Oh, not finished yet.
No, 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 no. That's
Oh my.
worse. So even the nurse said, normally endoscopy is never done on Wednesday, and also never done the same day when you're supposed to have chemotherapy. So basically, somebody ordered it, nobody knew who ordered it, the nurse didn't know who ordered it, the doctor didn't know who ordered it. Dr. Ferreira said, let's pass this time. Then, okay, she became much better. I told you she was staying until 3 a.m. in the morning. She was eating like normal. She wrote an email to him, to the doctor, telling him that I'm so normal now. I ate this, and that, and this, and that in detail. I have the email. But they said, no, but this is temporary. We need to apply you a chemotherapy. This is our best and last chance to improve you. This is called carboplatin. He said,
Sorry.
they said the name of the chemotherapy is
Okay.
carboplatin.
Okay.
Then I got the second opinion of many doctors, including doctors from Japan. And I told them they want to give her carboplatinum at this stage of the liver. They immediately said we're against it. And then one of the doctors wrote me on WhatsApp, told from Japan, from Tokyo, wrote me, these are the side effects of carboplatinum. But at that stage of the liver, any damage in the liver will be irreversible. Never you should apply that. Okay? I showed
It's I don't know what to say. Sorry.
I showed this message to Dr. Falla, the same doctor that came. This was the resident doctor of the Pavilion 4D, the oncology 4D. Okay? And I showed the same doctor said, I don't know who ordered endoscopy. Okay? And then I showed to her, these are the fear of the doctors saying that you should not do this. Her reply was, these doctors are charlatan. We don't believe them. She called the Japanese doctor charlatan. And the Japanese doctor is a doctor who has 25 years of experience as a surgeon, intensive cancer surgeon for 25 years.
Charlatan?
He was called charlatan by Dr. Falla, which doesn't know who orders endoscopy.
I see.
And then they convinced Migen to apply, and then they applied. Since that day, the status of health of Migen went downhill. Downhill, downhill, down. Exactly what the Japanese doctor forecasted is exactly what happened. Irreversible damage to the liver. Not only that, but it destroyed her kidneys. It destroyed her kidneys. Her feet starting to swallow.
And she didn't have a problem with the kidney before.
Never, never, never. Not only that, the doctor.
I'm shocked.
The doctor on the weekend, she came, Dr. Ma. She was a very, very nice speaking doctor, but she came there, and then she said, our challenge is to save your kidneys. I asked her, kidneys? What kidneys? We're not here for kidneys. But apparently then he changed the story. No. She has nothing to do. Her kidneys are fine. Then she prescribed some diuretics in order to take out the water. Minimum dose, but at least she did it. The next day, Dr. Falla, the same doctor who she didn't know who prescribed endoscopy, And then she said, I would not have prescribed that because if you give diuretic, you get out the water, the good water from urine, and the bad water stays inside. I consulted this with a Japanese doctor, and he told me this is nonsense. The protein doesn't come from the urine. Okay, I'm stating only the facts.
Yeah, I'm incredible. I mean, I
Since that day, it's not
I am
since
hypertensive. Eventually, I take diuretics, and I never heard this. Never heard this.
uh, then I forgot now. There are so many stories. Then um, she came. Then she because of this, I tried to get the blood test analysis. They get the blood test every morning, and then I was trying to get the blood test, and I never was able to get the blood test. I went to the head nurse. She told me we're going to
They
give you
didn't
blood
show
test.
you the blood
No,
test,
no, no. I
but
went to the
aren't you
head nurse.
entitled to see the blood tests?
Wait. I know all your reactions are very normal, Mario. I am on your side. I believe if I am on you, I would have done. But this is what happened. I went to the head nurse, and she told me, "Okay, I'm going to give it to you after we do the morning tour." Okay, I was waiting. She never came back, and then I went back to her again, and I said, "You didn't come to me. I gave you the blood test result to your nurse." I was there. I got around to find the nurse. After I found the nurse and told me, "Give me the blood result," she gave it to you. She told me, "No, she didn't give me any blood results. You go to the archive and find out and take them." I told her, "Archive takes 3 weeks. It's not a question of history. We need it now. But you go back to her." I went back to her, and then she told me, "Look, I'm busy right now." And then actually, she was on the phone, on the speaker phone, while she was saying me she has no time, on the speakerphone, speaking loudly with a friend outside the hospital about the beauty of the picture of California. And I have recorded her. And then at the end, and then she wrote, after I asked her,
Sorry,
give me
sorry,
the blood
sorry. Just just
to to
she
to
said she was busy, but she was talking about something that
uh,
was not medical,
no, with the friends outside the hospital with the pictures of California, about
and
California
she
pictures.
couldn't give you the exam because she was busy, but she was
She was
talking
busy.
about California.
Exactly.
That's well, I don't know how to express that, but it sounds unprofessional. At least the minimum is
Yeah.
unprofessional.
And then I went back to her again, and then she told me, "I cannot give it to you." But I told her, "Why you didn't tell me this in the morning? You can go give it to me." I told her that the blood tests are property of the patient. It's the right of a patient to have the blood test. Yes, but the doctor has to give it. Doctor has not given the authority. I asked her, "Why you didn't tell me this in the morning? Why left me getting around all day?" Now you have to wait for the doctor. Where is the doctor? It's not now. You have to wait until after the weekend. Basically, I never got the blood test results. Second, uh, I was in communication with Dr. Kimura for a second opinion. He told me, "Please send me only one picture of CT scan of the liver to see if I can do anything." But that takes long if you go through the archives, take a 3 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and so on. So I asked the doctor, please ask the imagery to just to print to make a print screen, only one. I wrote several emails to the Dr. Ferrario to get me that print screen, and he never responded.
Dr. Florian, as I said in the beginning of this interview, my father passed away in January, and he stayed like 12 days in the hospital. And I mean, whenever he had an exam, of course, the doctor would be the first one to see the exam, but he would show me right away. So I saw all the blood tests, all the CAT scans. I
Mm.
mean, tomography, everything he got. I see. And you never saw any exam. That's it. Because I thought you can't.
Never,
The
never.
world would
And
be
after
invited to this.
struggling, they were sending me around, and I struggled to get them, and I never got them. And I asked several times a CT scan, a sprint screen of the liver from the doctor in order to have a second opinion. And he never responded to me, several emails. And it is the patient right to have those. Patient right to have those, and I never got them. Although I was struggling, and all sorts of things. I'm going to give you after that. I'm going to give after this. When the doctor left, no, we cannot give it to you. And then speaking with the head nurse, speaking with friends in speakerphone in her office about the beautiful pictures, discussing beautiful pictures of California. And I have that recorded. So everything I say here, we have or emails or conversation or have witness. We have everything. Every single thing I said here, I'm not inventing it. I have proof. And I'm stating only the facts. As you see right now, I've not given any opinion, and I've not taken any stand. People people that might listen to this, might see this, they can draw their own opinion. So, but it is pretty normal. And then it's not finished yet.
Oh, it's not.
No, it becomes even worse.
It's man. I don't know what to say.
Huh.
And this was in February now, right?
In February, yeah. And then
her last days, her final days.
Yes, doctor from Japan forecasted everything. If you give carboplatinum, what happened? And I showed to Dr. Fella. Fella said this is charlatan. We don't even read them. Same story as Dr. Panacci. Same story. This is a trend. Okay, but actually everything the Japanese doctor prescribed, wrote to me, everything happened. Since carboplatin, the health of Migen went downhill. And then they accepted it. We do not know who caused it, but it is irreversible. Exactly what the Japanese doctor had forecasted.
Dr. Florian, just one word. I'm sorry to interrupt you because it's so like, as I said, it sounds like a horror show. I'm so sorry to use this term, but no other term better than this comes to my mind. Serious. Yeah. But when she called a Japanese doctor a charlatan, why is that? Because Japan, I've always heard that Japan has a very advanced medicine, one of the best in the world.
Japan is a G7 country, has been the second most developed country in the world. Now it is the third one, but the lifespan of Japanese is the highest in the world. And this shows the quality of the medical system. You cannot have the highest lifespan of people in the world, in Japan, and then have a bad system. And Migen was in love with Japan.
And even they're very advanced, especially the doctors you've talked to, because I remember the interviews we've had. Yes. Their cure rate is extremely high. Yeah. The treatment. I mean, much higher than in the United States and France. I don't know in Canada. I've never compared. When we talk to them, I'm even going to insert a link in the description to all the interviews we had. I think it's very interesting. Yeah. And one thing that I haven't mentioned in the beginning because I didn't know where we were leading to. We started the interview to talk about SIPs. Yes, and we changed the subject and I didn't want to interrupt you because
this is a symposium dedicated to Migen.
Yeah, exactly. But what I mean is
very sad story. It came by chance there.
Yeah, but just for me to finish this, this is being recorded. Yes, this is being recorded. I didn't mention this in the beginning, so I'm going to record another opening to this interview. Yes, to mix together, explaining what's going on. But you said that you have everything like emails and things like. Yeah. If you could get me the email so that we can insert in the interview.
I'm gonna give you everything.
Because it's incredible. It's unbelievable what's going on. What happened? It's like, as I said, like a horror story. Serious.
It's not finished. It's not finished.
It's not.
No, no. Become even worse.
Uh, well, I'm sorry. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I'm really.
You're right.
Please
You're right.
continue. Sorry to
You're right.
interrupt.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. So they accepted that it has been the effect of carboplatinum was irreversible. Exactly what the Japanese doctor forecasted, and she called him charlatan. And then they said, "Is this irreversible? We can basically hard to do anything anymore." And then this doctor, that was a resident doctor of the department 4D of oncology, okay, almost every day used to go to Migen, telling her, "You see, your feet are swollen, your body is so bad. If would have been you, I would have ended your life. I would have been alive myself." Basically, she was suggesting her to end her life herself.
He was suggesting suicide or
She,
euthanasia.
it's a woman. Dr. Falla is she. She was suggesting to another woman patient to commit suicide because the body is swollen and so on. If I would have been you, I would have end my life myself.
It's. I don't know.
Almost,
I've never heard a
almost,
story like this.
almost every day in different forms.
I've never heard anything like this because doctors are supposed to make people fight for life, not kill themselves.
Correct, correct.
I mean,
I have
this is the Hippocrates.
exactly,
When you
exactly,
swear in to become a doctor, you swear to save lives, not to terminate lives.
exactly. She was urging her to terminate her life,
It's.
and received no reply from them.
You've got this email. Please send me this email too, so we can
I have
insert it
everything. I have
when we,
everything. I
when
have
we edit
everything.
the video.
I
I
have.
will have. I thought this was going to go in a different way. Of course, this is like it was necessary. I appreciate you trusting me to say to tell this story because it's really unbelievable, and I want
It
to
is.
have it
It is.
very well documented in this video. So
Yes.
of course, I'm
Everything
saying
I
this
said,
at
I
the end
have
of the
detailed.
interview, not in the beginning. But I had no idea how. I had no idea how it was going to flow because I knew
Yes.
your wife had died, but I didn't know the whole story. We haven't
Yes.
been
Yes.
speaking for a long time, maybe 3 months. We haven't spoken. Or
It's another thing because they call the doctor, the Japanese doctor, charlatan.
no, this is
I, wa- I,
incredible.
I was told by Dr. Ferraro in the beginning, if we give her food, because basically they didn't give it food, intravenous food, sugar, because according to Dr. Ferraro, giving intravenous will damage the liver and will send her to coma. When I consulted with several Japanese doctors, they told me, I do not know how to, should I say this or no, but they got astonished because they told me, I'm not saying exactly the word they said because it's very offensive, but they told us this is elementary in medicine. Sugar does not damage the liver. Basically, she was not given any food during all that. She was whatever she was eating herself. No food intravenously for two
Incredible.
weeks. I do not know the details, but sugary actually in Japan they have a very special in these cases. They can open a hole here and they can put sugar just below the heart to keep the person alive with sugar. So there are, anyway, these are, well, I'm not entering in details. I'm not a doctor. I'm saying what the second opinion of the doctors, was in this case is for several things. For several things, doctors have been astonished when I've told them the way Migen has been going through all these procedures. The reply from the basic director of the department, the same guy that operated her in 2006 3 times because he did 3 times wrong. Now he is director of the department after 12 years, 17 years, whatever, 18 years. Please stop communicating with the doctors from the from the professor from the university. They do not know more than Dr. Ferrario that is your doctor. So you are not helping. Stop communicating with them.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So, in his opinion, suggesting a patient to commit suicide or euthanasia helps the patient.
I guess so. I don't know.
I don't want to judge if euthanasia is good or a good procedure. This is not in
This
debate now. Yes, but the thing is,
that's not the issue. The issue, even
yeah,
if it
this is
is
not the
legal,
issue.
even if it is legal, are you supposed to incite the customer to go, the client to go in that direction? I don't think so. The
No.
patient should request it herself, himself. I
Mm.
doubt that the doctor should insist on ending a patient's life and convincing her repeatedly almost every single day. I do not know why.
Yeah.
So this
It's
is the story, and even the last moment, her blood pressure was giving an error, and then I was trying to find out what is the error. Apparently, her blood pressure was too low, was very dangerous, and then the nurse, I don't know where they found 144, 110. It was very strange for us. They said, okay, these are when I asked, measured on the other arm. No, 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 they were not measuring the other arm. But apparently, her blood pressure was very low because with my own thing, I found that it was giving an error. And this was the last night for Migen.
well, it's
This is this is a beautiful human being, a famous lawyer with so much contribution, and the life was cut short at 50 years old. That's why we are dedicating a symposium bearing her name and in her honor as a memorial symposium in 2000 and in SIPS 2024 in Crete, Greece. It's a specific symposium, and this will cover all fields of law. From the labor law that she was a specialist with, corporate law, but also we're gonna have a new topic with different things.
mhm.
Medical malpractice. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm saying that the topics of the symposium will include legal ways of medical malpractice. I am not suggesting anything. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm saying the topics of the symposium will include this, besides the AI, besides other legal issues like we normally do every year. It's not the first time we are doing a legal symposium. Actually, Migen started in 2011 the first legal symposium in SIPS, not dedicated to a person, but since the time we had we had so many symposium dedicated to a person. In 2019, it was dedicated to Malcolm McNeil, a famous a lawyer from California, president of Beverly Hills Law Association. In 2022, we had a law symposium dedicated to Malcolm McNeil, Matthew Nolan, the famous lawyers from Washington, D.C. In
In
2000
Thailand, right? I was in Thailand
in
with you.
Thailand, exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
And in 2023 in Panama, we had a law symposium dedicated uh, to uh, to Hunter Carter, famous lawyers in New York City. So we do this all the time. This time is an exceptional because normally when we do a symposium, we do over 65 years old to honor their life achievement. But this time is an exception because it's a memorial symposium dedicated to Migen, because her contribution, even for she had to fight and fight and fight cancer, all the story that I showed to you.
It's
And
it, it,
then
no, it's uh, serious. I have no words to express my feelings, Dr. Florian. I've known you. You've become a good friend. Yes, we've known each other for over 6 years now, and I've become a close friend. And I knew that it was a very difficult situation for you and for Madam Migen. But I mean, I'm astonished. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Serious. This sounds like a horror story. Serious.
Yes,
And
yes.
I imagine how much she has suffered. I don't know. I don't want to get any conclusions here because I'm not a doctor. I'm not. Uh, I don't have enough. It's not on my formation, academic
Oh, it's
formation,
okay.
to do
Ah,
anything, but it sounds minimally strange. Yes, to say the least. Yes, so many things that I've never heard anywhere. I'm not saying
well,
that,
me
but
too. I'm not drawing conclusions. People can draw conclusions themselves.
yes,
What I mentioned are statement of facts, backed
exactly.
up by emails, communication, by witness, everything. So
Yes.
people are wise and can draw the conclusions themselves. And then they can
And
draw the
for you
conclusion
who's watching
if
this
these
video
are
until
regular
now,
procedure or against normal procedures. So it
exactly.
is, it is not our duty to go there. It's a different story, it's a different venue. But this is
Exactly.
the statement what happened. And imagine she had to go all through this.
No,
And
it's
she
I
she
cannot
had
imagine that. I cannot imagine
she
that.
completed a bachelor degree. She completed a master degree in law. She completed a juridical doctor in law, in both civil and common law. She did a PhD in law, and her thesis is 700 pages long, of the rights of workers during mergers and acquisition. So, and then besides this, she had to litigate in court and help people and won many cases in court. Plus, did research in the appeal court of Quebec, writing the guide for the single judges of appeal court of Quebec, and she had to go through all these stories of these stories that I showed tonight to you. Imagine.
No, I cannot. Serious, I cannot. But I'm trying to make an effort and try to imagine, but I
On
cannot.
top of that, taking care of our son. She was she was extraordinary for our son. She did most anybody else could have done. She was so close with uh,
Well,
with
uh,
David. So all these activities in 50 years, it is
I can't. I
it
can't.
is it is very sad and very.
I didn't have the opportunity of meeting her in person, but you always spoke so highly of her
Yeah.
that I felt like I knew her. But I don't know. I would like to address myself to the ones who are watching us. If you're watching us uh, as far as this point here, yes, you're going to see that during the interview, we inserted a lot of documents, we inserted a lot of emails that corroborate everything that Dr. Florian is speaking. Yes. And if more information comes on, yes, I will ask you to keep us posted, Dr. Florian.
It seems too. It seems too that it seems too that there are many similar issues and facts with this department with other people, not just us.
It's
And
well,
and
I'm
and
going to
if
be
I can
very
say
honest.
something,
It
if I can,
doesn't unless it's something personal, and I don't believe in anything personal in this matter. They wouldn't have any personal reason for this. Yes, at least out of the blue, I cannot find anything. But this, I would suggest that if you dig deeper, you're going to see that this is a pattern.
could be,
This is a
could be.
standard.
This was
Now,
a
I don't know
conclusion
the
of.
reason. I don't want to make any kind of accusations here, but
No, we are not
some
doing
things
accusation. We
called
are
to my
stating the facts.
attention, and I'm going to right after when we edit this, I'm going to insert this uh, some facts also. And as I said, I want to be very careful with my words. But how much does the government, the provincial government of Quebec, pay for an euthanasia? How much does a provincial uh, the provincial government of Quebec pays for these chemotherapies that were not, according to Japanese doctors, supposed to be used, and other things like this. Like we usually say and I'm not accusing anybody. Yes, I'm not suggesting anything, but when you see a detective movie, they usually have a very famous story: follow the money. Yes,
Mm.
I'm
Agree?
not saying that they did this for money or they would do this for money, but if there is a standard, we should follow the money. And I'm far away. I'm in Brazil. Yes, I have very little information about the Canadian medical system, but I would suggest Canadian authorities to check on it.
Yeah, we are not speaking for Canadian medical system. We are speaking for a specific department within the Jewish hospital.
No, exactly. But I'm saying I cannot. I'm not. I don't know if they what they did is protocol in Canada. In Brazil, it certainly is not, and I'm very
It's
aware
not.
of
I
cancer
guess it's not.
protocol because I had. I lived this very until like 2 months ago. Yes, for 5 years, and you followed this. Uh, uh, you met my father in Belo Horizonte. We were together in Belo Horizonte
Yeah.
for some interviews, and my father went there when he was diagnosed with cancer 5 years before. And I'm very thankful to you because I can say that all the help you gave us, he got at least 3 extra years to live.
Mhm.
Yes, with all the help you get. So I'm very grateful for you. Yes,
Mhm.
and I've realized and I've learned a lot. I'm very observative. I've learned a lot about the Brazilian protocol to treat cancer. It's completely different of what you've experienced. I don't know. I think science is worldwide. As you said, science has no borders. Yes, it amazes me that a country that is so developed, so advanced as Canada, uh, has protocol that is so different than Brazilian, or
No,
it's not
no, no, I don't think
protocol,
so.
it's
That's a
only
German. It's the same. It's the same
yeah.
protocol in the United States, same protocol in I do not doubt that there is a different
So
protocol. No,
I would recommend authorities to investigate
no.
the cancer department of the Jewish hospital. I want to. I'm speechless. I usually I think I've interviewed you a couple of times and I've participated with you in podcasts before. You've never seen me speechless like this. I'm looking forward to participating of SIPs in
Yeah,
Crete
that
at
is to
the
honor her for her contribution.
for sure.
That's the only thing we can do to help her memory and to keep her memory alive because we cannot bring her back. So that's what we need to do.
Exactly. And Dr. Florian, thank you very much for participating. I have no words. I don't know what else to say. So thank you for participating.
I can say a different a parallel case. Just Megan's mother was was diagnosed with same cancer in the breast in 2004. Okay, and then they told that in the same department with Dr. Gottlieb. Dr. Gottlieb it is a reproductive cancer doctor, and then they were diagnosed her with breast cancer, with uterus cancer, and then with ganglion cancer. And then she was doing almost every month a CT scan. She also went to the another hospital that is related to the Jewish hospital, and they followed what Jewish hospital said. And the doctor said that she has to do this procedure every single month with a CT scan until she dies. In 2004, she was 60 years old. And then she got fed up and told her, I am old, I'm 60. I will not take any more medication. I'll not do any more tests. I'm not coming anymore. She went home, stopped all medication since 2006. Now it is 2024. She is 80 years old and she witnessed her daughter pass away and she is still alive.
So, wow, wow.
That's
So
her. That's her mom.
she was diagnosed with cancer, stopped treatment, and she's still.
Breast cancer, uterus cancer, and ganglion cancer. Ganglion cancer, it is only 3 months life.
I mean,
2004, they
I don't
gave
know
her
what
three
to
months,
say. I don't know what to say.
and then she stopped
Uh,
everything. She stopped going to the hospital. She interrupted all. She said, "I'm 6 years old. I cannot support all this torture." And from 2004, 2000, we are 2024. She is 80 years old and she's alive.
well, I'm going to say something that you cannot say,
This is a
but
fact.
they use the
No,
word that.
nobody can tell me this is not a fact because she is alive.
Yeah,
And then she
exactly.
gave her 3 months
If you could,
life.
if you have any exams of hers that proves that she had cancer in 2024,
Okay, we have it. We
2024,
have the
please
file.
send me.
We have the file.
We are going to include here too.
We have the
Now,
file.
the doctors that you mentioned in Canada, some doctors, I'm not, I don't remember the
We're
name.
speaking for a specific department. We should not generalize. It's very important.
No, no, but I mean, they use some doctors used the word about the Japanese colleagues,
Oh
like
yes, charlatan,
charlatans. Yes,
charlatan.
I think this is a pretty good word to be used in this case, and I'm not referring to the Japanese doctor. Serious. It's a very strong word.
Mhm.
Yes, but this the best definition would be horror show. Serious. There's
It has been a horror story for us.
and
Imagine
I'm
you
very
are
sorry for
you
what
are
you went through
listening to
with
that,
my
but
friend.
I have
Serious.
witnessed this every single time, and I slept for 2 weeks in the
Yeah,
coach in her room
I
because
can.
she didn't even want me 1 minute to leave her alone. Every time I was going out to do something, please come back. Do not leave me alone.
Because you protected her.
That's what
Man, I don't know what to say.
that has been a horrible story, and
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
it
so sad.
has. Yes, I have no. I have only to thank you for the opportunity of telling this, and I don't know what else to say. I'm really speechless. My accept my sincere condolences.
Thank you.
I'm going to include, if you allow me, at the end of this show, of this interview, I'm going
To,
to
to
include the memorial service or a link to the memorial service.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Beautiful.
Magnificent.
Yeah,
We
when
did a
I saw that,
magnificent memorial service.
serious, I could not imagine the horror you went through.
Yeah, that's the
If I
story.
couldn't,
That's the
serious,
story.
and because I knew she had cancer, she had been fighting cancer, but she was so excited about being well in 2022. All the exams was good. I remember you were very excited about it. Yes,
It
you
was
felt
good.
like very, and
There are
all I
many.
can say is
We could do a lot of numerous speculation here, but as you see, I didn't do any speculation. I just mentioned the facts.
yes, and we'll leave the conclusions to our audience.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I've got mine. Well, I don't know what to say. Only thank you very much for this opportunity, Dr.
No,
Florian.
it's a pleasure. That
And
we are now.
uh,
We should concentrate in the
yeah,
making her symposium a success because she
yes,
deserves.
and I'll be glad to be in Crete by the end of the year and
Yes,
pay my tribute to her also.
yes.
Well, Mario Linhares, and this was an interview with Dr. Florian Kongoli. Thank you very much for your audience. And if you've watched us this far, this has been edited. We've inserted here documents and emails that were provided by Dr. Florian. And if you have any questions, please leave your comment. I'm Mario Linhares. I was your host today. See you next time.